Okay, so I decided to move out yet again, and this time I was going to third year now. So I started looking for places to live again. I was looking for both apartments and student houses. I was just looking for anything because I was like, you know what, whatever happens, I cannot live with this chick, so I have to move, you know. But by this time, you guys, let me tell you, the cost of living had gone up like crazy. Like, rent had spiked up so much, and my parents were like, they were not really willing to pay for a very expensive place, because to be honest, they can't really afford it. I'm the second born, and I have 3 other sisters, and we are all in, okay, 3 of us are in university, and then like they just couldn't afford an expensive place, you know. I'm not that privileged girl who can afford to live in like a 10,000 rand apartment in Cape Town. I can't. So I started looking for a place, and it was obviously I was on Gumtree. Oh, and by the way, all these figures I'm giving you of rent, it's per month. It's 10,000 rand per month. I was paying 3,500 per month. It's not like a T for a semester. Yeah, it's per month. So I found this other place. It was a student house. But by the time by the time I come back to Kenya, because I came to Kenya in November, December, I still hadn't found a place because all the places I'd found before were way too expensive. So I came to Kenya not knowing where I was gonna stay the next year, which is the worst thing to do in Cape Town, because trust you me, it's you need to view a place before you pay that deposit. You can be so disappointed. So I came to Kenya not knowing where I was gonna stay, but I was still on Gumtree like every single day, asking, you know, sending emails out, blah blah blah. And also, many people don't want to just give you a place to stay. Okay, the legit people, if they've never met you. Like, a landlord won't want to put his trust in you if he's never met you. Like, what if you're a crazy person? What if you're a druggie? Like, what, you know. So I only found a place, I think, in January, or sometime late December. It was a student house in Rosebank. I was not really keen to live with students, to live in a student house again. But I was just like, you know what, my first experience, which I only was not too bad because I only stayed in that student house for 2 months before I was kicked out. So I was like, you know what, let me just give it a try. So it was a student house. We paid deposit without me even like having viewed the place. They just sent us photos, but at that time we were desperate again, and this time my parents were not coming with me to Cape Town to look for a place. I was going alone, you know. I was traveling back alone, not knowing where I'm going, not knowing if the house is legit, not knowing shit. So I get there. Thank God it was legitimate. It was legit. So I called the landlord, but she was there waiting for me, because I'd come back in January because I think I had some exams to write that January, because I think the previous year there'd been so much. I think that was when we had the strikes in school started, the protests started. Yeah, so many people were in Cape Town because of deferred exams, but I also had some supplementaries to write, so I was in school for that. I had come back early, like sometime in January as opposed to February. So I get to the place. I was the only one there because people still hadn't like pitched up for school. It was a UCT student race. Okay, not UCT only, but mostly UCT and other students from other schools, universities. So I get there. It was an 8-bedroom house. So 4 rooms upstairs, 4 rooms downstairs. But it was actually quite big because there were 2 lounges. So there was 1 lounge upstairs, 1 lounge downstairs, 2 kitchens, 1 kitchen upstairs, 1 kitchen downstairs. So it was mostly like 2 apartments conjoined. So a 4-bedroom apartment. So 4 people down. I think it's been upstairs for 3 people. So it was a 3 people upstairs, 4 people downstairs. So I was living downstairs, and then the kitchen was big, the lounge was big. They had Wi-Fi. They didn't have a TV, but I didn't mind. They had a beautiful garden where I used to take so many of my OOTDs. Yeah, so actually I didn't mind the place in the beginning. I was like, okay, cool. After a while, my husband started coming in. Guess what? I was the only black person in that house, and yeah. I was just like, I guess this is not my life. I'm just always the only black person in so many, you know, situations. But I didn't really mind at first, because the people who I was living with at that point weren't so bad. Also, I met this amazing soul called Chaz. So Chaz was this white girl, and we became like best friends. Like, she was so sweet. She was so sweet, and we just clicked. And I think it's made it easier being the only black person there and having a girlfriend, you know. I felt they accepted me more because of that, because she just liked me. Let me just be real. So yeah, that's why I stayed for another whole year. To be honest, the place wasn't so bad. I had so much fun, but it was not in a very secure environment. And this time, by the way, I'm paying more rent than I was paying the previous year. Now I'm paying, first of all, my room was much smaller, because previously I had a big bed, you know, like I had a nice room. This time my room was small. I had a single bed, I had like a tiny wardrobe, and you know how many clothes I have. It was just such a small space, and I was paying something like more than, I think, 4,200 rand per month for just a room. Like, seriously. But anyway, that was the only place I found, so that's why I stayed for the rest of the year. I loved the garden so much, so I couldn't really complain, because I had been stuck in an apartment the previous year. And you know, living in Kenya, like, we have such a nice big garden at home, and I love it so much. So at least I felt kind of like home, because there was a garden. And then I lived with this guy who liked gardening a lot and stuff. Yeah, but okay, so something happened in this house which just made me be like, nah, I have to move out. So my laptop got stolen. Yeah, we got robbed, because apparently in that area there are very many guys, thieves, who come from the slums, because I think the slum is kind of close by, I don't know, but they come from the slums and then they sneak into the houses and steal shit. So I think that day my room, my window was open or something. It was at night, and these guys just came and picked up my laptop and my speakers and left. And also Charles. So Charles' room was close to mine, so they also stole Charles' laptop. And this, by the way, guys, mind you, I had just gotten a brand new laptop. I had begged for this laptop from my parents, like, please give me, you know, I want a new laptop for my coding, blah blah blah, for my blogging, all that stuff. So I'd just gotten a new laptop, and then it got stolen before I even started the semester. So it was like in February. So I had to start begging my parents to now get me another laptop. So after that, I was just like, you know what, I'm not about. And then also I used to live behind the train station, so each day to go to school I would have to pass under the subway, which is not safe at all. In the Rosebank subway, guys, it's not safe. Like, homeless people and people like stay there at night, and there are a lot of like thieves who like rob people. Like, it's just known for a lot, that area is just known for a lot of robberies. So if you're planning to move to Rosebank, please don't stay behind the train station. Like, it's not that safe unless you have a car. I don't have a car, so I'd have to walk. And then I would spend so much on Uber if I'm coming home late. Like, I was just like, no, this place. And then my room was small, so I'd feel like so in a place. Like, and then also after a while, like in the beginning my housemates were cool. After a while I just felt like people's true color started showing, you know. I found out I was living with very many druggies. It was not the best thing, you know. So I decided I was gonna move out. So me and Charles decided that we wanted to move out together, because we had like stayed together the whole year, you know, with no issues. So we decided we wanted to move out together. So we started looking for a place, started searching on the internet. Houses, obviously the cost of living has gone up again. Every year cost of living in Cape Town goes up by crazy amounts. It's just like, it's so crazy, you guys. So we couldn't find, and we wanted a 2-bedroom apartment. We didn't want to live with any other people because we were so over. Also, another thing about this other house, oh my goodness, my housemates were so dirty. Like, the kitchen would be so dirty. Like, I felt like me and Charles were always the ones who were cleaning dishes. And mind you, we had a maid who'd come weekly just to clean the place, but they would not wash dishes. They would cook and leave dishes there. It was just so disgusting. So I wouldn't even want to cook, because the kitchen would just be so yucky all the time. And then I just got tired of cleaning people's mess up, you know. But at least the bathroom was okay, because I only was sharing a bathroom with Charles, so I wasn't sharing with any of the guys. And we lived with so many guys. I think we were only like 3 girls in that house. And after a while, one of the girls moved out, so it was only me and Charles, and I was the only black person, mind you. In the end, we didn't end up finding a place together, because I would give her a place, she wouldn't like it. I was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna just start bembelezing people here, like, oh my god, baby. No, me, I need a place to stay, so I'm my first priority, you know. So I found this one place. So by the time I was living in Cape Town, by the way, I had found this one place, and then I was gonna do the viewing the day before I was going to leave Cape Town. But then Sijui, the girl was not available. The girl was supposed to do the viewing with me, was not available, so I left Cape Town without having done the viewing again. So thankfully to friends of like the friends I have, oh my gosh, have just like really helped me out. So my friend called Trevor did the viewing for me. So I sent him to do the viewing, and he went to view the place. This is where I stayed last year, which was, to be honest, it was the most beautiful place I've lived in Cape Town. I actually liked it as compared to all the rest. Even if it had its own issues, it was the most beautiful place I've ever lived. So it was a 3-bedroom apartment. It didn't have a lounge, and the kitchen was small, but my room was just amazing, because my room was supposed to have been the lounge. That's why it was so big. So my room had a balcony. It had this huge nice bed. It had 2 closets. It had 3 sofa sets, so like 1 big sofa, and then the 2 small couches. It had mini drawers. It had a big desk. It was just like my dream room, you guys, you know. So Trevor did the viewing for me. He took photos for me. My parents paid deposit, and then I was supposed to, like, I only physically viewed the house the next year when I was actually moving in, which was in February. Yeah. So anyway, oh my gosh, I feel like I've been talking for so long. I'm even tired of talking. It's even getting dark outside, so I'm gonna try and rush this a bit. But anyway, so now I move into this new house where I was staying last year. And at this time I was supposed to be living with 2 South African black girls. So I was just like, okay, cool, this is fun, because I've never lived with any South African black girls or black people at all. I always used to live with white South Africans or foreigners. So I was just like, this is gonna be nice. I want to have like South African girlfriends, you know, black South African girlfriends. So I was like, yeah, I'm excited, but I was also a bit nervous because xenophobia is real. So I get there and fine, I met one of my housemates. So anyway, I'm not gonna call out her name, but yeah, so I met one of my housemates, and I was just like, okay, she seemed sweet. She was being nice to me, you know. She bought me pizza because I landed at like kind of in the evening, so she bought me dinner. I was like, okay, this girl seems really nice. Okay, sour, fine. A few weeks later, okay, now I think not a few weeks, maybe like a week later, I just realized like there was someone staying in her room, some other girl, and she told me the girl staying in her room was her cousin or something like that. So I was just like, a bit dodgy. Like, why aren't you just staying in her room? Because now she was staying in another room, which I thought was first hers. But then now my other housemate called Ati came to Cape Town. She moved in. Ati ended up being one of my closest friends last year actually. Like, she was such a gem. I don't know how I would have survived that house without her. So she's the other South African girl I was supposed to be living with. So she came, and then she was like, you know, so there were 2 big rooms in that house and then 1 small room. So I had the biggest room. Ati's room was the second biggest. Then there was a smaller room. So Ati was just like, okay, I don't know why this chick has been staying in my room this whole time. You know, like, what the hell? And then also when I got to my room, it was so dirty, and I was just like, why the hell is my room so dirty? Like, the landlord should have cleaned this shit up before I got here. But you know, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna complain too much. Like, at least I have a nice place to stay. And then I think the next day I told her, like, this room is really dirty. And then she was like, okay, fine, we'll get her maid to clean it. So she got her maid to clean it, and then she paid for the mess. But I didn't know why there was a mess at that time. So next week, so now this time this chick is staying in Ati's room. Ati has come back. Ati is staying in her room, sleeping on her big bed. This chick is sleeping on the floor. Mind you, she has a small room where she's supposed to be staying, but apparently her cousin is staying in that room. Scam alert. So the next after a while, there's one day I was cooking in the kitchen, and then this chick, now her cousin, comes and starts talking to me and starts telling me how apparently she told me she's a Zimbabwean. This girl was a Zimbabwean. She's not even related to this chick at all, who was claiming she's her cousin. Apparently this chick had rented out that small room of hers to this Zimbabwean girl, and now since she didn't have a place to stay, she was staying on Ati's floor. And then this chick told me how I had been there, but I had only gone back to school in March last year, but I'd signed a 12-year lease, so we had paid for January, and my parents had paid for 12 months, and this time obviously rent had increased, so I was paying something like 4,600 per month. Yeah. So this chick told me how there's some people who had been staying in my room when I was in there, and she was like, oh, those people who are staying in your room when you're in there, and then she was referring to them like I knew them, like Sam and someone. Apparently this chick had told, hey my god, so this chick, this scammer, this dodgy girl had rented out my room to other random people when I wasn't there. And then that month, the rent which those people had been paying, she had collected that money. So my parents paid double rent. So my parents paid to the landlord the money that my parents sent. she sent that money to the landlord, and then the money that these random people who dirtified my room were paying, she kept it. And this time the landlord of this place had told her to find another person to stay in my room for 2 months, just to relieve me of that rent. But she found that person, but she lied to the landlord that she had not found a person. You guys, imagine. So basically, and that's like 9,200 rand. Do you know how much money that is? That's like 90k Kenya shillings or something around there. My parents were so pissed. Okay, so obviously I was just finding out this, so I was obviously really mad. So I told my, at that time I didn't even tell my parents, because I was like, I don't want to like freak them out too much. So but I informed the landlord. So I sent an email to the landlord asking about it, and then we had a house meeting. This girl denied, and then she was starting to obviously I didn't have proof, I was just hearing things from other people. So, and then also she had been staying in that house the previous year, so the landlord trusted her. This girl, we found out she was such a liar. This girl had lied to us about everything. She had lied to us that she was at UCT. She wasn't at UCT. She lied to us she was doing her postgrad. I think she was even in second year, and she was obviously older than all of us. But if you're reading this, you girl, okay, this girl used to like walking around the house naked. I don't know why. She just used to like walking around the house naked, like, ew, like I don't want to see your body. No, thank you. And then she just liked using people's, she should always complain about being broke. But mind you, she had been collecting so many people's rent and stealing so much of our rent money, because she, in the beginning, would send all our money to her, and should send it collectively to the landlord. She had been overcharging us rent, by the way. So I'm just like, why? How are you so broke and you have so much money? Only to find out that she has this Congolese boyfriend who should like give the money to. I don't know what that dodgy Congolese boyfriend was doing and why he needed so much money, and why she was always stealing from people to give him that money. It was just a very dodgy situation, by the way. So there was this month, I think, so after a while, like there started to be like a lot of tension. And then the Zimbabwean chick left, so it became just the three of us. But she would never be in the house because she was always at her boyfriend's place. So that was good, because me and Ati started bonding, we started talking, we started actually seeing that this girl is lying to us about so many things. That's when Ati would tell me lies she would tell Ati lies about me, she would tell me lies about Ati, like. And then I think she also thought because her and Ati are South Africans, they could gang up against me. But then Ati like wasn't about that vibe. So anyway, it was just like a whole lot of girl drama until sometime in June, when we paid her rent and she did not send it to the landlord, by the way. This chick ran away with the rent money and made up an excuse about how she used that money to pay for one of her operations because she was sick. So I don't know if she was actually sick, or I'm not gonna judge, but yeah. So the landlord lost a whole month's rent. So when that happened, that is when he finally believed me, because in the beginning I had tried to like call her out and no one believed me, so I just shut up, So he kicked her out of the house, he terminated her lease, and then we started paying rent to him individually. So for the rest of the year it was smooth sailing, because we got a new housemate, this white guy who was really nice. Like we all like just lived so happily ever after for the rest of the year, and I loved that house so much until the end of the year. And I wanted to renew my lease for this because I really wanted to stay in that house this year. Like I really wanted to stay in that house again because my room was so amazing. But afterwards, there were so many issues, like there would be breakages in the house, things would go wrong, the landlord doesn't fix it, doesn't even care, So it was just like, it was becoming a bit too much. And then at the end of the year, he decides to bring a surveyor to survey the house and give him, because apparently we were paying, how much were we paying? Around 4,600 at that time. So when the surveyor came, she was like, you know what, these guys are actually paying too little. So we need to hike up the rent, and she hiked up to by like 1,000 rand, you guys. Like is she for real? Like no, my parents were just like no. And the thing is, so like they're gonna do anything differently. I'm paying more than 5,000 rand for just a room. We don't even have a lounge. The kitchen is small. The plumbing is an issue. Wi-Fi is okay. There's Wi-Fi, but it's not the best Wi-Fi. Like no. So my parents actually told me, like, you know what, it's even better you find a place of that same amount, but which is more worth it. Because now by this time when we started looking for other houses, we couldn't find a place which was less than 5,000 rand per month. Yeah. So that's what happened. That's why I think I'll link the vlog when I was complaining about Cape Town accommodation just before I left the country. Yeah, so I had to move out like in such, it was so last minute when my parents told me to move out, and I had to find another place. So I did find another place. I did the viewing before I left Cape Town, and we paid the deposit, so that's where I'm gonna stay this year. It's a 3-bedroom house, also in around the bush. So I'm just praying that my housemates are okay and that things go well. Though, and also like I might have to, my parents are not gonna support me the whole year. Like it's gonna reach a point where I'm gonna have to start paying rent by myself, and rent is 5,000 rand per month. So I just wanted to rant, by the way. So this is just me ranting about Cape Town, living in Cape Town accommodation. Like if you're planning to move to Cape Town, think twice. Like Cape Town is, but also at the same time, like I don't want to move out of Cape Town. Like Cape Town is so beautiful. Like this, everything else about Cape Town, about the accommodation is so amazing. Like the standard of living and the expenses in Cape Town is too much, but then everything else, like Cape Town is such a beautiful city. Like I love that place so much, and like I feel like I've grown up there. You know, I turned 18 there, I turned 21 there. Like I did so many of my first things in Cape Town, and I don't want to move out. But also at the same time, I need to find a very good job that can sustain me living there, paying my own rent, and you know, all that bullshit. But yeah, this is just my woes living in Cape Town, all the things I've been through. Yeah, I'm gonna end this video here because I think I've been talking for so long. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and feel free to leave a comment down below if you guys have had any other issues with living abroad, or even just living in Kenya, or living in wherever you guys are living. Have you guys had any accommodation issues? Have you guys been scammed? Have you guys been robbed? Have you guys been kicked out? You know, let me know in the comment section, and also give me suggestions of other videos you'd like to see from me. Until next time, bye.